What's going on, folks? This is Anthony with Onion Bag. Been kind of crazy. Had a lot going on. You had the 19 running rampant around these pieces. So, all back. Barcelona season has not started the way we wanted to start. There's been a lot of ups and downs. A lot of fighting between Laporta and La Liga and Ronald Koeman and Laporta, and that brings us to a situation where, off the edge of having Ansu Fati come back, which was great to see, and having some issues on the forward line as well as change formations. Basically, Barcelona is completely starting over, and the last thing that you want to see is the article that came out today on ESPN that Barcelona financial crisis deepens as LaLiga cut 300 million euros from spending cap. So, what they're stating was Barcelona's financial crisis has deepened after La Liga cut another 300 million euros from their spending limit, with 6 clubs in the Spanish top flight now permitted to spend more than them, right? This is not a place Barcelona is used to, but at the end of the day, Laporta was brought in to change the club around. That's what he was brought in for. We knew we had a financial crisis. Just turns out it's much worse than we had ever anticipated. So, the bar for operating costs for Barcelona from 2021 to 2022 season been reduced to 97 million euros, which is almost 650 million euros less than Real Madrid, whose limits has been fixed at 739 million euros. Barcelona's limit for last season was 328 million euros, while the season before was as high as 600 million euros. La Liga corporate director Jose Guerra explained that the Catalan club, which is less than clubs such as Villarreal and Real Sociedad, is down to losses of nearly 500 million euros for the previous campaign. He stated, they acknowledge much higher losses than they had initially estimated, so the impact is greater on the spending limit. They said that while the spending is somewhat stable, with all the losses, it just really brought them down. Sources told ESPN that was down. Oh, and one of the other things they had said was Barcelona confirmed losses for the 2020 and 2021 season of 481 million euros. That's about 200 million euros higher than they had originally been estimated following the external audit by PricewaterhouseCoopers. So, sources told ESPN that it was down to President Joan Laporta, who was elected March, writing off several assets as part of last year's accounts, including amortization payments due to certain players to help the club return to a profit. So he's hacking everything down, taking the losses now, figuring he's going to have a rough year this year. They're probably not anticipating buying or bringing in any new players. So what he did was he brought in all the players he could that he thought he could build around. And then got rid of Griezmann and Messi. Now, some people are going to say that they could have kept either one of those players, but I think he knew it was worse than it was. Then he wrote off the amortization and some of the other player contracts. So this year is essentially a dead year, folks. This year is going to be what we have is what we're going to get, and we're going to lose more people. What this states is we're going to lose more people. Hopefully we get some fans back in the crowd, make some more money, but Barcelona's in a building young program, building cheap programs, like what I like to call it. We got to build cheap. We're not adding any new assets, which for the end of the day, we've been adding people that didn't really matter for the past 5 years anyway. Like, we really needed to bring up the young. We need to bring up cheap core. We need a team, not superstars. And with the absence of Messi, that's where we're at. It also says the club expects their spending limit to be significantly increased next season, although Guerra warned that the past losses will still be considered moving forward. However, Guerra added that due to the unforeseen effects of the pandemic, Barca are not in danger of being punished in the short term, although the league will need to see justification of the damage done by COVID-19. In practice, Barca's wage bill will remain higher than the 97 million this season, despite their best efforts to reduce it in the summer, letting Messi and Antoine Griezmann go. Laporta revealed recently that salaries and amortization payments still account for 80% of the predicted revenue of the 765 million euros for the season. The league's economic controls demand that figure is around 70%, right? So Barcelona's at 80%. We need to drop it down to 70%. Like I said, we're not bringing anyone new in. We're going to do some more plans. We're probably going to let go of some players or renegotiate contracts. Cool. Although Barca is even lower this season as they must make amends for recent losses. And gross debt, meanwhile, stands around 1.4 billion euros. In the meantime, Barcelona will be able to spend only 25% of what they save in wages or make in transfer fees on registering new players or making signings, a rule that they had to adhere to this past summer. Basically saying, you guys are in a hole, homies. Check it out. You're in a hole, homies. So you're not allowed to keep buying a whole bunch of players because you're never going to get out of the hole. I think this is something Laporta would have done anyway, but let's just be clear. They also have rules around them making sure that they dig out of this hole. LaLiga depends on Barcelona, right? And we're in a brutal spot, you guys. The play's not great, and there's no cash coming in. Despite that, now here's where the knife stabs in. Guerra still maintains the club could have kept Messi, who left for PSG in August, if they really wanted to. Right. Well, check it out. I can have $1 million car if I really wanted to, right? Or $1 million worth of cars. Just depends on what the repercussions could be. Quote, I think there were solutions that could have kept Messi at the club. It was the club's management that decided to use their resources differently. Guedes said, I don't think it was a question of their finances. So basically what he's saying is, this is on you guys. You just didn't want him there. You wanted to start over moving forward. Basically what he's saying. And also in the same article, they state that Madrid's limit has now over $500 million euros higher than any other team in Spain, has been boosted by the club's decision to add over $200 million in previous savings. This means the clubs are in a position, the Real Madrid is in a position where they have more than enough capital to sign PSG's Kylian Mbappe, who they bid around $200 million for the summer. Quote, they would have no problem whatsoever. They were ready for Mbappe or any other player. La Liga spending limit accounts for the maximum amount clubs can spend on wages, bonuses, and amortization payments on transfers, not how much they are necessarily spending. Got it. Sevilla had the second highest ceiling in the league at $200 million, followed by Atletico at $171, Villarreal $159, Real Sociedad $127, and Athletic $111 million. At the end of the day, guys, Barcelona's restart. We're starting over. We got to be patient. I know that the product on the field is not what everyone wants to see. I know that it doesn't help that we have bickering between Laporta and Koeman. I get it. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's another reason why it's hard to do videos on this team, because I don't want to just slam them, right? I understand this is a very, very difficult time. They're going away from who they are, what they've been known to be, as well as having the pressures of the legacy players having to take pay cuts and the coach being slammed and starting over and bringing in new people, which everybody wants the youngsters to do well. The problem is you're going to have these growing pains and they're going to hurt. I hope we do well today. I just wanted to catch up with everyone. This is kind of a bombshell article. I didn't think they were going to have this much more financial hurdles to overcome, but here we are. Talk to everyone soon, man. Leave a message. Tell me what you guys think. Is this good? Is this worse than you believed it was going to be? Or is it just a situation that, you know what? Sometimes you got to swallow your medicine and it doesn't taste good, but you got to do it. Talk to everyone soon.